Hi there, this is Flash Tasman with another episode of Foundation and Access, and today we're going to start a new village. Take the lessons learned from the last one and see if we can make it better. So let's go over to the main screen, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go over and do that. Wait for OBS to catch up. There we go, right, so, right, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to go into new game. Right, hills, coastal, fluvial, mountain or valley. Which one did we do that? I can't remember what we did last now. Let's try mountains, just something a bit different. Right, go. Let's wait for it to start. Did I press start? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's have a look. We know all about that. Let's pause it so that we're going to pick a starting square. Oh, this is interesting. Right, so this one has got, okay, so we've got a choice of this one which has got some trees, rocks, stone and berries. We've got this one which has got the same, it's got hardly anything. Or we've got this one up here which has got this. It seems the best one. It's a bit hilly. I'm thinking about that one because that one would suggest we can get to fish quicker. But this one seems to be the best option. We've got a bit of everything then. We have a bit of everything, so we're going to go with this one. Right. Some minerals have been discovered in the proximity. Excellent. So the first thing I've got to do is build a village centre. Now, if I think about this, I'm going to put the village centre here. The thought process, let's think which I'm going to go. If I put the village centre here, this end, because I'm thinking that in terms of growth, we're going to go this way. Trees there, therefore production is going to be that side, therefore I can put the village centre over here. Yeah. Okay, well, village centre, that might be a mistake, but not to worry. Right, builder's hut, no, that's forbidden land. Builder's workshop, I'm going to put the builder's workshop over here, because I'm thinking that's where the majority of production is going to be over this side, so I'll put you there. Okay, the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need builder's workshop to start. We're going to need to assign a builder. Okay, so let's just pause it a second. So we're going to need, at the moment I'm just going to go with one builder, so I'll go with that. We're going to need a well. We're going to put the well here. Okay. In fact, I'm going to go with two builders. I need to get a move on. Okay, so we're doing that, so we'll just pause it a second so I can keep a track of what we're doing. We're going to need a gathering hut. So let's spin you around. We need a gathering hut. We need a lumber camp. I'm going to put you there because I'm going to expand that way, a lumber camp. And we're going to need a stone cutter. I'm going to put you there. I think that red square, that red circle is the influence as to how bad people, I actually don't know what that means. I've always assumed that indicates the area of negative influence. I might be completely wrong on that, but we'll find out, won't we? Right, okay. So while that's doing that, the extraction zone available. So we're going to go with extraction zone. So we're going to extract all these trees here. We clear this out from here. The first thing we do, we can then use this as building land. We can then push out the stone cutters and the lumber camp further out. So you just keep pushing them out as we expand to those areas. we just push those things further out. Let's have a look where we are with in terms of stone. So we've got stone down there, and we've got, what else have we got? Stone and stone up here. So in theory we can push this all out this way, essentially keeping the middle part clear of anything we don't need. Let's turn the speed up a little bit. And while that's doing that, I'm just going to watch that tick over for a little bit, because there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do on that quite yet. Okay. Right, where are we? Okay. While that's doing that, we'll just sit and watch it for a while. I'm going to assign jobs now, so I'm going to make you a forager. You're going to be a woodcutter, and you're going to be a miner. Okay. I'm actually going to put 2 people on gathering hall, because that's going to be our first tradable resource. Is going to be that. So let's watch that tick over. Now what I'm then going to get them to build is also build a market. I'm going to put the market here, because I'm hoping that we can I'm hoping that what we can do is assign, basically keep this as our main living area, because forestry wise we're going to have to push this way for trees. We're going to have to push trees this way and that way, and then grow this way, and then maybe move the stone up there. That looks like a graphical glitch, but again, you mustn't forget this is still in early access, so you are going to get little weirdy things like that. At the lumber camp, we've got somebody at the lumber camp. I need to find somebody in the market, so don't forget to do that. Market 10 there. Right. We are going to need to build. We're going to need to build a granary, because without a granary we can't trade berries. I think the granary. Let me put the granary down. I want to put the granary over here, next to there. That needs wood and stone, because yeah. Oh, okay. Because as soon as we've got a granary, we can start trading berries and make more money. That's the plan. So for that, I'm going to need a. I'm then going to need. I've got a miner assigned to it. There we go. And then you're going to be a transporter. And what's he short of? You're going to be a transporter, so why is that not finishing? Stone. Oh, okay, stone. Oh, okay. Okay, let's speed this one more. Speed 3. On speed 3. The key is we need to get the happiness up. Is the key. Is get the happiness up, then people will start coming to the village and we can start expanding. What we mustn't do, as we did last time, we go too quickly. Because what I'm going to try and do is, depending on what resources we've got, is try and keep this area here for living and industry this way. Because the trees are this way, we've got berries up there. Where's the closest stone to that now? I'm suspecting we're going to have a mineral resource there. We've got stone down here. What we could do, we could potentially, we're going to have to go this way to get. We need to get wood. So if we look at available squares, we're probably going to go that way, then that way, then that way. and just gradually work our way down there. And if we can get stone down there, so we can move stone from there to there and down to here, and leave this area for housing, and keep them away from from our main settlement. And just go out and just try and go out, keep the industry on the outside and everything on the inside. So what we like for stone, we aren't making enough stone. That's an absolute given. But we'll catch up. Right, sorry about that, I keep getting distracted. Okay, a lot at the moment is literally just standing and waiting for them to finish stuff. We've got enough, yeah. I want that market up and running. It's up and running. So we can start selling berries. Okay, we can start selling berries. Which means that people become happy because they've got a well, they can buy berries, which is good. It's whether which means we can then start, that'll get that population happy. At the moment it's getting more people here, we need more citizens, because then we can start maxing out how many people are in what buildings. Because at the moment I'm beginning to think having 2 builders. It's great to get stuff built quickly, but it's also a little bit draining in terms of it means we haven't got them elsewhere. Anyway, okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, right. Granary, because as soon as I've got the granary built, I can start. We can start selling. We can start trading, start making more money. I love it how the fact they're still working there. You hear them, you can see them shout. I didn't do enough panels, didn't you? Why better? I think my camera looks a bit dodgy today. There we go. Right. You can see them shouting for people. Come and get your berries here. I've got it on speed 3 at the moment. That's why everybody's running around like crazy things. Okay. Hopefully he's going to get some berries. Hopefully. So he's going to get some berries. Let's stop what's going on here. Don't berry. I didn't do it last video. I didn't pan down enough to show you what the actual village look like. I said gathering up. Obviously, where they gather stuff. We've got the stone mine over here. Got the builder's workshop. The lumber camp. Obviously, I'm making it walk a lot further to get there. They always say if you're trying to put your workspaces close to where you want them to work. But I want to get him to go over there or over there. Not really sure really. I'm not kind of got a plan really. So is he selling berries? Is he selling berries? I wonder if that's because we haven't got. I wonder if that's because we haven't got a granary yet. I think the beauty of this game is it's a very gentle pace to it. It's a very relaxed, easygoing game. You haven't got a lot of pressures on you in terms of if you don't do this, you don't have the pressure in terms of I don't know how to put it. In terms of everything's going to go to pot if you don't, for example, as in the last village where we promoted too many people, therefore created a problem for ourselves, therefore people were leaving because we weren't meeting their needs. That's purely our own fault. As long as you manage your settlement well, and provide what you need to people, then it kind of just runs itself, and it's a very easy-going game. I've just said this is interesting. Villagers will make their own way to. Villagers will find the best route possible to get somewhere. So as I would have expected them to go through the forest, they're actually going around. So it suggests that the route they take is even longer because they can't go that way. I'm wondering once we get rid of these trees, I'm wondering whether they'll then go this more direct route straight through there. Interesting. Let me just make sure I've got that covered. I have. Right. What we need to keep an eye on is a church. What do we need for a church? We need 10 incomers. Right, so we need basically 10 people. Everybody's happy. We're making money. We're not making online actually, we're losing money, but we've got money, if you know what I mean. Let's put one over there. They're getting buried. So what I'm then going to do is I am going to... that's the point. We need resources. People join, which is good. We need planks. That's the next thing we're going to have to build, is a sawmill. So that's the next thing we're going to have to build, which I'm going to do now. Because we need... Trade is, for me, is the most important part of monetising your village. Oh, that's a horrible expression, but to monetise your village you need trade, because obviously trade allows you to sell to make money to help you grow your village, but at the same time it also helps you where, again in the last village I finally realised where we weren't providing enough types of food, we were able to go into the trade hub and buy in the food we needed. So we were able to go to these different villages and buy in the resources we needed to get everybody happy. So I think for this is very important that you do grow your village as quickly as you can do. Sorry, let's say that again. It's very important that you grow your village to enable you to trade, to enable you to then produce the things you need to keep the village happy to help it grow. So this trade is very, very important. It is important to grow quickly, but it's to control the growth. So let me get another woodcutter. It's very important you control the growth so that that carpenter will go into there. It's important you control the growth of the village so that you do expand, but at the same time you don't expand too quickly, so that you end up not being able to manage your village properly. That's up there. I'm also going to put it down here as well because we need to live. Alright, let's put it down here. I'm going to put it in there, and I can put people in there. I'm going to extraction zone. You see how it's all gone red? So it's all gone red. So when I put in there, see that how negative influence that has got. So that is because of that stone hut. So that's why for me we want to move out as quickly as we can do, so that I can move that stone hut. So therefore then we've got more space to grow. Okay, we've got more space for villages. Let's just come down up here as well, and down here just on the edge. And there, so then we keep cutting wood. We keep that expanding out. We keep expanding out there. We're selling berries, which is good. We're making money, which is good. People are happy. Could be happier, but they're happy. At the moment, I'm not concerned about expanding too quickly. I'll tell you why I'm going to get down. I am going to get a rustic church down. So now I'm going to get a rustic church. I'm going to put it here because again, this is going to be the centre of my village. I know it's in the middle of a forest at the moment, but I'm going to get this down now in there. I'll put a door there. I'll move you. Door there, and I'm going to put a tower on that side. Let's get this down now, get them working on it. because hopefully these trees will all be gone, and then this will be the centre of the village, and these, apart from the granary, these lot will move. I'll move them out. I know it seems a bit, it seems on the face of it a waste of resource. I know it seems a waste of resource to build these, just to knock them down and build them somewhere else, but you kind of have to do that. You just kind of keep, you kind of have to keep growing outwards, and just keep moving these centre of industries away from from your people, because it keeps them happier. The happier the area, we go to monies. Excuse me. Consumption. So at the moment we're making enough consumption. So just the happier they are, the better the houses they are. I think that hopefully generates income. Again, I will need to confirm that. As we discovered in the last game, priests haven't been implemented yet, so they can worship. They have no priests there, but they can worship. Okay, well, how are we getting on? How are we getting on? Ticking along quite nicely. Ticking along quite nicely. We've got no unemployed people. We've got no unemployed people. We've got berry market is doing quite nicely, thank you very much. We need to get the sawmill up and running. The sawmill is up and running. We're doing all the work here and there, but we don't want to outpace ourselves in terms of demand and capacity. So we need that, but we don't want a situation where we haven't got enough wood to support that. So that's kind of working together. Obviously the next thing I'm going to do is expand the lumber camp, so I get another worker in the lumber camp. So I can expand the lumber camp besides having a key. Obviously with the church will help people, because that will attract more people here. Okay, we want to, as soon as I've got enough money for that, as soon as I've hit 500 I want to expand. But we are going to have to work on is the next thing we want to build is a manor house. Is, if I can find it, I know she says, monuments, Lord's Manor. Because if you've got a Lord's Manor, that's where you keep your money. Obviously, as soon as you hit 500, you can't store any money because you haven't got the space for it. So therefore, if you build a manor, you can have a treasury, you can have a bailiff as well. Once you've got a bailiff, the bailiff can hunt for resource. The bailiff can scout for minerals, i.e. quartz, all the fancy stuff you need to build more complicated buildings such as coal, weapons, all that kind of stuff. But also the bailiff, that's not very good. I've opened that. Anyway, but also the bailiff can also work with the estates to expand the estates, to gain more access to better things. You need to gain favour from these three estates. Now you can do that through missions, rather like so that a monk or somebody will pop up and go, "Hello, I want. Can you supply 50 berries?" And you'll go, "Yeah, I'll supply," and you'll get a choice of who to pick. And therefore, once you've done it, if you do it, you will gain favour. You'll gain favour with that particular estate. If you don't do it, you'll lose favour. But a lot of the time, they'll come with you when you haven't got it yourself, and then you're stuck between: do I provide 50 berries to labour but leave myself with a shortage and therefore ignore my own people, or do I just not bother at all so they can't go away, which you can do. That's where the bailiff comes in. You don't get as much, but when you've got a bailiff can gain favour with a chosen estate, which means you can, as long as you're willing to wait a bit longer, ignore these missions. Which is useful to have a bailiff. We're going to need a warehouse because we are going to need to start stocking things, because at the moment they're just storing everything on site, so all the berries are kept there, but at some point they'll reach a capacity in terms of we haven't got enough room to store anymore. That's where you need a warehouse. But at the moment we're not producing enough of each individual resource to merit having a separate warehousing capacity. And then obviously when I've got, I can stick it out here somewhere when we expand that. So I'm not with the warehouse at the moment. Again, berries are the only thing we need to store at the moment because we're not producing enough of everything else. And also to do that, you also need somebody to work there. What I am going to get going in a minute is stone. So I'm not going to hang fire because we've got the stone. We need the stone and the planks for here. So as soon if I then put down Lord's Manor, it's going to take resources away from here. So therefore, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to hold fire on that. Keep an eye on that number. As soon as that hits 500, I want to expand out and pick another region. And what I'm tempted to do is I'm going to bind as to whether we go down here, because then if I go down here, I can move my stone production to here and get it away from there, and that gives me more land, more space up there to expand out into. Yeah, but looking at that, we also could do with the trees. Anyway, right, hit pause. As soon as that gets to 500, hopefully it will do, we can hit pause, and then I can expand out. Yeah, because occasionally, if you're not quick enough, it doesn't stay on 500 for long. What we're doing for time. What are we doing for time? I'm thinking, again, I'm just going to keep this for half an hour, just because it's bite-sized chunks. Easy, because obviously I don't do this full time, as you probably noticed, and I have to work, so I'm having to do this at night after work, and if I try and do longer than half an hour, it becomes tiring, and I've got no time for family. Obviously I've got things like Football Manager Touch. I do that for a bit longer because otherwise you just don't get anything done. You'd end up watching me on the transfer market for half an hour, which is no fun for anybody. Anyway. Pause. You see, I wasn't quick enough then, was I? I wasn't quick enough on the old hitting the pause button. I distracted myself. Then. As we come on, get to 500. I want to expand out. Again, you're not quick enough. There we are. Right, decision time. Right, if I go down here, I can move stone production to there, get rid of it there, and then hope for that. Because if you look at the negative, if you look at desirability, I hit that. Come off that. I go into that for residential. If you look at that, that's having a massive negative. All of that's having a massive negative effect. So if I can move that down here, I've got myself more room to expand out into. So what I'm going to do, wood at the moment doesn't appear to be a massive issue, but I am concerned though that if I go that way, I could leave myself short of wood. If I go here, I've got more wood. I've got more wood. But yeah, I've also got more berries as well. Decision made. Right or wrongly, the decision has been made. We're going that way. Where are we? Okay. Right. Okay. Where are we? We need more people, but that's a regular feature of this first time for a short period. Then you're going for houses. So again, let's have a look. Let's go down like that. Yeah, because it's residential. I've put it out that way. I'm maxed out as far as I can there. I have to be careful because if you put residential on trees, they get unhappy. I need to chop trees down quicker. I really need to chop trees down quicker. How much room this is what I don't get. How much room do you want? There's stacks of room. You got loads of it. Why can't you expand it to there? Those are big houses, aren't they? It's like, I don't get that. You've got room to build there, unless it's just not level enough. Well, I suppose it is on the side of a mountain. If I go down here, I suppose I could go down here. Right, tell you what, I'm going to decide that next time. Next time I come back to the village, I'll decide it then. Because the first thing we're going to do in the next episode, we're going to move my my stone cutter down here, which means I can then, in fact, last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do that now if I forget. Because no, I'll come back and I'll go back on my what I do. So I put that here. See, look how big that circle is. I'm sure that's the desirability. Make sure it's not said there, yeah. Right. Why is it not working? I ain't got enough money, that's why. Right, okay. So I'll leave that there, and I'll remind me the next time we come back to the village. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to do that there. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to press that, and I'm going to go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. In the village series 2. Hit like and subscribe. Usual stuff would help me a lot. Any comments, tips, questions, stick them in the comments again as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.